Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Aturam from the BIDC. Today, I wanted to share with you this beast of a work holding solution that Schunk Work Holding has so kindly gifted us. This is the Schunk KSC 125 with Vero-S clamping modules. So in this video, we'll be going over how to use this model in the CAD CAM workspace on Fusion, and then we'll also do an in-person review in the second half of this video. And just an FYI, this will be the new standard on the UMC 500 for all your 5-axis needs. So without further ado, let's get into it. So with this one vise, we have 8 different configurations. We have flat features, so flat faces, and we have serrated features on both sides. So you can use either of this flat face or the serrated face, or you can flip it and use this flat face or this serrated face. So again, flat faces for things like machine or ground stock, and the serrated teeth for extruded faces, or if you decide to create a dovetail on your stock, or machine the dovetail in your stock, you can use this as a dovetail as well. Um, well, that's four items right there. So the two flats and the two snaps. You're maybe asking, where are we getting 8 different configurations? So if we isolate this jaw and the carrier that it rides on, we can see the way the jaw locates the vise is this slot. So we have a boss on the jaw itself and this slot on the carrier. So if you decide that your stock is a little small, you can actually unbolt this from the carrier, move it to this slot, and clamp your workpiece with that. So again, for the these 4 different faces along with your the 2 different slots gives you the 8 different configurations. So getting into the CAD model, the way you joint your stock to this work holding, same as pretty much what we've always done in the past with the Bechtel vice models. So we have the sketch, which I've titled as the stock anchor. So you'll just snap your stock to this point right here. And also we have the parameter, the jaw gap parameter as always, to set your jaw gap between the different faces. So for this one, since it's a standard snap, that means whatever I set in here, so let's just say right now it's 1.775. That just means I have a gap of 1.775 from this face to that face. Bingo. Cool. Yeah, also another FYI, in the past, we've kind of always had the riser live on the machine. With this vise, the riser actually resides with the vise. So this will always permanently be clamped to the riser. Getting into the CAM workspace, the way we set it up is a little bit different. So in the past, we've always kind of set our WCS to the center of our vise, and then that's also our anchor point. It's similar how you do it, but the point now changes. So you can see we have this black point right here, and I've titled as fixture anchor / WCS origin. So if we go to a new setup, and let's just select the machine really quick, VeroS work holding. I'll get into what the VeroS is in just a bit. Fixture, we'll just select this guy, and then part position. Oh, wait. Let's set up our WCS right now. So selected point, again, select that point right there. And also just make sure your orientations are correct. We go to part position, change part attach point to selected point. That point right there. And this is the Vero S module. So in the past, well, basically what this is a 0-point clamping system. So we've had something similar, a little bit smaller, that's resided in the machine up to this point. That with that one, you'd have to turn it with an Allen key. This one is pneumatically controlled, and again, we'll go over this in the in-person review, but basically your table attach point is now going to be the front circle or circular boss that we have right here. So you just click the center of that, and I've also modeled that point as well. And you can see this is kind of how it will look like. So the module is located onto the table with these toe clamps, and then this the riser will attach to the Vero S module. So if you guys have any questions on how to any further details needed, you guys can go ahead and Discord me or anything, but we will now go on to the second half of this video and do our in-person review of how to use this vise. Let's get to it. Oh man, we got the Schunk KSC 125 and the Vero S module. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about it, torque specs, how to use it, all of that. So let's start off with the lead screw, right? So how do we actuate the clamps? So we got this attachment, this fitting right here. We use a 12mm socket and we can actuate it in and out, right? This will be torque to maximum of 70 foot-pounds. So please keep that in mind when you're torquing this, 70 foot-pounds. And then jaw configurations, right? Remember, as we said, let's see, let me get a battery real quick. As stated earlier in the video, you have this ground face right here acting as a flat. You have serrated teeth up here, serrated teeth up here as well, and then this ground face right here as well. So to set the jaws, right, we have this slot right here and this slot right here. So depending on the configuration, if you're going for a compact, a standard, an extended, or a max extension, you're going to figure out which slot you're using. So for the compact, compact and extended, you use this first slot right here, the closest to the center. So that right there would be a jaw in a standard configuration. And that would be one in an extended configuration. Then use the second one right here if you're going for the standard or max extension. So max extension, flip it to get your standard. So once that's done, we have these M10 bolts that just go in here. Take your impact, and this is going to be an 8mm hex, and tighten it down. So for further information, right, earlier I stated that you have the WCS and anchor point in a specific location. So on this vise, imagine you're looking at the vise and the Vero S module as if you were looking inside the machine right now. So this air fitting right here would be facing as it is right now in the machine. We want this, when we have it in this configuration, we want the lead screw right here facing forward. And the reason we have the WCS location and the anchor point here in the on the front is, if you can see, this VAROS module, it uses these pins right here, these 2 pins. They are 2 different style of pins. So if you look at them closely, this one is going to be the one in the front. So if you look at it closely, the entirety of this diameter right here, this angled diameter, is ground. And then on this one, this is our B pin. You can see part of it is ground, and then part of it is machined to a smaller diameter. So the way it works is, this pin right here, the A pin, is up front, closer to the lead screw. That's acting as your XY locator. So it makes sure to locate the vise, right? So we set G55 to the front ring right here, and it locates this riser and vise in XY using that ground face mating with the inside of this VAROS module. But then, since it's around, I can rotate about this point if I don't have something. So hence the B pin. These ground, you have 2 ground surfaces, so one right here and then another 180 from that. The way they work is, when placed, you create a line between the 2 pins. The 2 faces are now perpendicular to that line, controlling your angle to make sure the vise is in line with the VAROS module. So those are just some quick tips to using this. And then if you ever see the case that you need to take this out, we have this special fitting for our air nozzle. Plug it in, and it interfaces with this brass fitting right here. That opens up or expands the locking mechanism that's in here, which are spring loaded. So normally they close onto these pins right here, and when you put air, it opens those pins. You can take this assembly right here, drop it in, and then you release air, and now this thing is locked. So that's a little bit about the VAROS and the Schunk KSC 125. Again, for further questions, you can reach out to me on Discord. My tag is AVUCHA. Yeah, I hope everyone has some fun with this guy. I'm super excited to introduce this to the center, and a big thank you to Schunk as well for gifting us this.